Hello friends, welcome back. It's BigDenoPlays time and we're excited to play a new game. It's called Leviathan Wilds. Very highly rated by a number of people last year for games that really hit the spot in 2024. Procured it not long ago and we finally get to give it a crack. It feels like it could be right up my alley. It's a solo game. Probably cooperative more so than solo, but this is what we're looking at. This is all the setup that is required, and the rest of it feels very much like it is in our imagination to figure out where the game comes from. So we've got two characters that we're playing in this, and their objective is to scale this Leviathan and free him of the binding crystals that are making him go crazy. So if we zoom in on the Leviathan, you can see that he's got dice representing those crystals and how big those crystals are. So our objective is to traverse our way around the Leviathan and smash those crystals. And once we've removed all 8 crystals, we have won. However, the Leviathan will be doing some things to prevent us from removing those crystals. It doesn't really know what's happening. This is the first and simplest Leviathan. Its name is Sage, and he is just a big giant turtle, which is quite cool. So we will use this rage track here, and that will, we're not going to start at hard difficulty, we'll just start at casual. These will flip over at the start of each of our climbers' turns, and it will determine some things that are going to happen to them during that turn. Finally, we have our two climbers, as I said. So we've got Savvy, who is a good old school climber, and Savvy is actually the class that is called Gadgeteer. So let's see if this works. It does, Gadgeteer. So Gadgeteer has this little gadget token which we will flip, and it's going to increase their abilities, as well as this little token which is exclusive to Savvy, and that is called the Farseer token. So he's just good at predicting where things are going to be. So the other character that we've got is Fix, and he is a Roughneck, which is just like your basic generic ranger, good at everything class. So each of our climbers, so we're going to deal out 3 cards for each of them. These are cards that we can both play for their skills down the bottom, and we can also play them for their AP value, which is this number here. So we have to choose one to play as AP, and the others we can use, we don't have to, for their skills at any time. So that's Fix. Fix has a special ability, which is he applies +1 to a strike during each activation. Savvy is our other one. So Savvy has these cards. So there's some fantastic playthroughs and how to play videos out on the internet. I won't spend much time teaching how to play, but if we have a look here, this is the introductory story for Sage, the first character, the giant turtle. After weeks of travel, we made it through the mountain pass, into the hills, into the wilds, and already we're gearing up for our first Leviathan encounter, this massive magic turtle. Way different to scouting, heading towards a blighted Leviathan instead of sneaking or running. To be fair, we might still end up doing a little bit of both. Cool. So let me before we even play this game, let me explain some of the things that I think are really cool about it. It's not overly like storyline focused. It's very much a spatial puzzle to try and work out how to eliminate these crystals whilst maneuvering around the map, and there's a number of things that actually make that more challenging. So some of these little things are marked. Those are more difficult areas for us to traverse. So if we traverse one of these with a red, we'll take a damage. If we traverse one of these with yellow, we'll lose some grip. We also have to contend with blight, which is if we smash these crystals that are blue, that's gonna make us blighted. So we've got to avoid that. We've also got some little friendly mushrooms that we can pick up that have been growing on the backs of the Leviathan. And we've also got some spaces that we can traverse, which are called ledges, and that will allow us to rest, recover our grip, recover our strength, and prepare to continue upwards. So this token here, I'm just using to mark whose turn it is. Sometimes I've only played a little bit, so I think it's helpful to just know whose turn it is. We are going to start with Savvy for the first turn, and it's a very simple game, which I think is really nice. But there's a lot of decision points to make. So the first thing we do on a turn is we reveal the threat card. So that is this threat card. This purple section is what is going to occur, and it will happen at the end of the turn unless it specifically says swift, in which case it resolves straight away. So at the end of the turn, the highest climber is going to suffer a blight and suffer a wound. So if we go over here and look at Savvy, a blight is here and a wound is here. If these two ever cross, that climber is exhausted and the game will end the following turn, assuming we don't win in between then. So the highest climber at the end of this turn, at the end of Savvy's turn, is going to suffer a blight and a wound. So that's okay. We will definitely be activating Savvy. So we now go on to activating a climber. So we choose one of these three cards to use as our AP for the turn. So let's look at Savvy. So Savvy's here, this orange champion. Now, we have our Farseer token, which we can use at the end of the turn. So broadly speaking, I think the right thing to do to approach this game is to try and get as high as you can and then come down and take the ones that are lower down. It's less risky that way. So I think we just want to climb as high as we can in this turn. So if we look here, we've got three cards. They're all AP4. There isn't really anything that is going to create some issues here, but I do like this skill. So we may keep that. So I think we will use this Hidden Paths as the card that we're going to select. Now you're supposed to place this here. I may not do this because it's a little bit annoying with sleeves to go in there and do that, but that is where it's supposed to go. So this tells us our AP value, and this symbol here tells us what we're immune to this turn, because we're either climbing more carefully or holding on a little bit tighter. But we've now got 4 action points to spend over here on this Leviathan. So we're actually just going to go 1, 2, and pick up this mushroom. This mushroom has block 1, very nice, we might even use that straight away. 3, 4. And that is the extent of his turn. Now the actions that we can take during our turn include climbing, which is just moving 1 space orthogonally for 1 AP. 3 allows us to jump, which allows us to bypass, potentially something that we don't want to deal with. Gliding is moving downwards, and we can just slide down, or we can strike at a crystal by spending AP. If we're on a ledge, we can rest, and we can also mend our health. Foraging is an anytime ability, letting go is an anytime ability, and using a skill is an anytime ability. These are skills. So we've completed our turn because we've spent all 4 of our AP. We could use one of these if we wanted to, but we're not going to for the moment. So we're just going to now trigger this, which once again says that our highest climber, which is Savvy, is going to suffer 1 blight and 1 wound. However, we will use our mushroom that we just picked up to block 1, so we're not going to take any damage. We are going to take the blight, and that is done. So at the end of the round, you discard your action point card, you draw to 3, and that is the end of your turn. There's a few other things into the game, but let's go here. So we're going to have fixes go. So we now resolve the threat, or literally we reveal a threat, and this time we have the active climber is going to get pushed down 1. Sorry, before we go on to anything else, we are actually going to use our Farseer token, which we get to do at the end of Savvy's activation. So we're gonna put our Farseer token on that space there. Cool. We're going to choose this Swerve, I think, for 4 AP. Place that there so we don't get too much glare. And that's going to allow Savvy 4 action points, fix 4 action points. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. When we go to this space, we get a free pickup on this mushroom. Oh, -1 blight. Glorious. We're going to discard this, and that allows us to ignore terrain, so we can ignore this, and we get to climb 1. So we've gone 1, 2, 3, a free climb, and now we're 4 here on this ledge, and that is good. So the active person gets pushed down. Let's have a little look at the term push, because I think we don't get pushed when we move your figure downwards in the number of spaces. No, we do. We do have to do that. So we will get pushed down to here. That's the end of Fixes Go. Nothing special to do for Fix. So it draws back up to 3. And that's it. That's the game. So we're going to continue. So all climbers are going to lose a grip at the end of this turn. Grip is this deck. If this deck runs out, you fall down. So we don't want to let that happen. We need to rest on a ledge before that happens. So Savvy. I might put this here so I remember. Okay, so again, we want to climb as quick as possible. Now we do have our gadget token and we can hookshot here. So let's maybe hookshot. So we use 4 action points from Deflector. And I think we want to try and get up to here. So if we go 1, 2, 3, we can get this mushroom. And that symbol says that we can strike 2 on a crystal, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, strike 2. So that's nice. Now we are going to use our hookshot as an anytime skill, and we're going to flip our gadget token, which means we can use one of these green spaces. And that's going to allow us to climb 1, 2, using our hookshot. We are going to suffer a wound there, but that's okay. So we've gone 1, 2, where were we here? 1, 2, 3, hookshot, 4 up to that crystal. So that's the end of our turn. Very nice indeed. We are adjacent to that furthest crystal. 1, 2. So this, we lose a grip, that goes away, and that goes away. So that was all lose a grip. We'll place this, now where do we want to place this? Let's place it here, I think. So we want to try and get as high up as we can. Alright, so this is our first AoE attack. So we use this little marker to indicate that this area is going to get attacked, and anything around that is also going to get attacked for 2 damage. But we get an opportunity to move away from there. So, not today. So I think we're going to choose Retaliate, and we will gain ourselves 5 action points, which is pretty nice. And let's go. So we're going to climb 1, 2 to here, we ignore the damage from that. 3, which is a free climb. 3, 4, 5, and we'll pick this mushroom up. And that mushroom gets us immunity to losing grip. Yeah, ignore it once or while activating your AP gains that. So as you can see, Fix is no longer in this circle, and so he will not suffer any damage or whatsoever, which is the end of his turn. So that goes away. He draws one more card to here. And we do want to get to a ledge soon to rest before things start to get quite hairy. So this time we have another AoE attack, and it is on that savvy person. So this is a purple crystal. So purple crystals, there's no penalty for attacking a purple crystal. So what is our best approach here? I want to get to this ledge. I don't have any that allows me to. So let's use this red card, the Farseer Cudgel, for 4 AP. So 4 AP. The first we're going to spend on smashing that crystal twice. No, we're actually going to spend this crystal, this mushroom, for strike 2, and we're going to play this card here. Any climber may apply +1 to their strike. So that is actually that crystal smashed, and we still have 4 action points left to spend, including immunity to red. So we're going to then glide. So gliding, 1, 2, 3, over here to that ledge. And then for our 4th action, AP, we're going to mend. We're going to mend and recover a wound. So that was a good action. We took out one of the crystals we need to take out. We suffered no damage, and we're sitting on a ledge ready to rest next turn. We'll place this, and we're going to place it here on that red section there. So we don't redraw here because we played that on his turn. Cool. Let's go on to the Mushroom Man. Now, when these have all been activated, we move this along. It's the end of the round. We shuffle these and deal it. And if we were playing on harder difficulty, we would flip one of these and we would have what's called an Enrage card, which is harder to deal with. However, we only have to do that next round. So the active player, which is now Fix, is going to have this marker here. Fix is not going to be anywhere near that. So let me think. Yes, so we're going to use this not today, which is 5 AP. And we are going to climb 1, 2, 3, and we get to ignore that, even though we could have ignored it anyway from this. We're going to spend that to climb to the top. So we've gone 1, 2, 3, and that's free. So we've now got striking a crystal for 2. However, we can use our pummel card, which we will, and that's going to allow us to strike 2, strike 3. We've still got 2 action points left, so that's strike 4, which removes that, and then we'll move across 1 to that ledge, and that is cool. So 1, 2, 3. He's only got 1 card left in his hand, so All right, so that happens. No one's in that zone. Good work, Fix. We're over to Savvy again. We're going to flip the highest, which is going to be Fix, is going to suffer a blight and a wound. We're not going to be able to prevent that, and that's okay. Energize. Let's choose this, which is 3. Let's ready our gadget token. We don't draw that yet. So the gadget token is readied. We have immunity to red. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And then, no, so we're going to go 1, 2, and then glide down to here, which costs 1 AP. Then we're going to flip our gadget token to strike 3 with blight protection instead. So we've just strike 3 to take that down to 3 with no blight on us. We've spent all of these. So these go. And that's not really great, but we are going to be able to glide to that next turn. So when you've got this many cards left, you can choose to only draw 1, and we will choose to draw only 1. And then we're going to place this here on that section. All right, so that's it. The highest person, which is Fix, is now going to suffer 1 damage and 1 blight. And that's it. All right, so Fix is going to suffer the penalties. We're going to lose a grip everywhere. So that is not good for him. For poor Savvy. Okay, that's fine. We'll work that. We'll work around that. So let's use Fix. He's going to use this AP card here for 4. Old Rusty. No, we'll use this Daredevil. So it's going to be 4 AP. The first 2 AP we are going to use to rest. No, we're going to use Back in My Day. For any climber may climb 1. So we're going to climb 1 over here with Savvy. So when they fall, they're going to fall down onto this ledge. Not exactly what I planned, but can't help that. We will then rest for 2 AP here. So we shuffle all of these, and these go back into our grip pile. Boom. And then we still have 2 AP to spend. We will glide to this one, and when we get to this one, we can move 1. So we move 1, and then we still have 1 left. We will spend 1 to mend 1. And that's it. So that's discarded. We flip here, and we flip here. And then we lose a grip for both. 1 grip, 1 grip. He has no grip left, and so unfortunately he falls all the way to this ledge below him. Not too bad. So that's the end of Fix's turn. I'm going to move down to here. All right, so that's not ideal. We can work around that. We can work around it. All right, so we only have 1 choice, which is this one, thrusters. We'll rest for 2. 1. So the active person is going to suffer 2 damage if they stay where they are. We've got 1 AP left, so we could glide down to here. And that gets us out of the active area for suffering no damage. So we'll do that. We'll just glide down to there. And that's it. That's Savvy's turn. We'll place this. We are going to use this token here. And yeah. So end of the round, 1, 2, 3 hook shots. Now when you rest, you flip your gadget token back to active. Fix's turn. The active player is going to get pushed down. So we have this here for 4 AP. This is a blighted crystal. And we need 3 to hit it. We've got +1 to our hit for hit it harder thanks to Fix. So let's use Razor's Edge for 4 AP. We will move 1. We can ignore this, so we'll move down for free. And we move 2 to there. That leaves us with 2 AP. 1, 2. And then because of Fix, he gets a +1 to strike during his activation. We have blight immunity, so we suffer no blight damage thanks to that. We do have the ability to add 2 to our strike, but that's okay. We don't need to. Now, at the end of the turn, we are unfortunately getting pushed down onto a thing that loses us grip. But we have a mushroom, which we can spend to ignore our grip removal, which we will do. We will draw back up to 3. This goes down to here. We've completed this, so we're at the end of the round. So now one of these is going to be flipped to its blight side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is this one. It's Savvy's go. And so Savvy is going to suffer. Oh, the active loses 2 grip. All others lose 1 grip. It's fine. We've got hook shot available. We do. Might just want to. So I really want to get up to this ledge, or this ledge here, in preparation for an assault on that. But this is strike 3 with blight protection instead. So I might just be able to flip that gadget token. Ooh. Yep, that's what we'll do. So we'll choose Deflector for our 4 action points with no protection. We're going to use Hookshot, which is an anytime skill, to jump up to, and we'll jump to here adjacent to that crystal. We will then use this Wrecking Ball, which is a strike 3 with blight protection, by flipping our gadget token. So we've removed that crystal and we have not yet spent any action points at all. So let's then just go climb 1, 2, 3, 4. So we lose a grip because we've gone over that. So that's here. And then that is the end of our turn. We are going to place this token here. Yep, that's fine. And that's the end of Savvy's turn. So Savvy loses this and then loses another 2 grip. 1, 2, 1, 2. We have the option to not draw that, but we actually will draw it. And that's good. Okay, so end of the round. We lose 2 grip here. There's none to lose, but we're on a ledge. We lose 1 grip here. This goes to here. Fix is dealing with, no, not Fix. That's gonna happen to poor Savvy. Definitely the highest. Okay, Fix. Which one are we going to use? This is a +2 to our strike. Any climber may apply +1. Any climber may block 1. I just want to get to a ledge. So we're just going to use the minimum required, which is 3. We will glide to here. When we land on that, we can move 1 for free. So that costs us 1. We'll then spend 2 to rest. So these get shuffled, put back underneath. We draw back up. And that's it. So the highest, which is Savvy, 1 blight and 1 wound, and that's it. Savvy's going to spend energize to ready the gadget token. We're going to use this gadget, odd relic, to become focused. Boom. We get to choose 3. No, we don't need to use the gadget. We'll just become focused. This is our action points for the turn, which is 4. 2 of those we'll spend to rest. 1 of those we'll spend to mend. Oh, I had to do this. And the last action point is going to be to glide down to that crystal. We do not suffer any damage, and that is the end of the turn. Draw up 1, 2, 3. We have an active gadget token, that's nice. Any climber may gain 2 grip, recovery mist, deflector. Yep, good. This token we're going to place here on this section with the purple, so we can ignore that. We go down to the rage track. So the active player is going to suffer a push down at the end of the turn. Don't need to rest. Yeah, let's just go with not today, which is a 5. We will move a glide down to here, so we ignore that grip loss, thanks to this token. So that's only 1 of our AP. We will then do a strike, spending 1 AP, I guess. Actually, we can spend 0 AP, and we can apply +2, +3, and that eliminates that. So that's fine. So we've spent 0 and 1. We've still got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 onto that ledge. Right there. We suffer no damage because of our red immunity. We're on a ledge, ready to heal. 1, 2. Actually, if we just go here, we then get pushed down onto that. That's fine. I like that better from the push. All right, well done, Fix. Absolute weapon. Savvy's going to get attacked here. Savvy has no way. Yeah, we're going to choose. I might choose Recovery Mist actually. So Recovery Mist. Oh, this was supposed to go here. So yep, so we'll choose Recovery Mist. It's a 4. We're right where we are. Yep. We will spend 3 of our action points to hit that crystal, and we're going to use Fix's critical strike to apply +1 to our critical strike. So we're gonna suffer a blight, but we're going to do 3 damage to that crystal. We've got 4 action points, so we still have 1 action point left. So what we're going to do is we're going to glide down to here, and then we're going to use our phase shifter to glide to this ledge. That's the end of our turn. You can see we suffer no damage, and so that is it. We will place this here, and we will draw back up to 1, 2, 3. That's it. So next turn, now it's going to get a bit more hairy. So we have 2 cards that we're starting with. So the strength of this game is absolutely its simplicity. Fix's turn. The active person is going to get pushed 1, and then they're going to fall. Fix is just going to take this 4. No, we'll take this 5 AP, and we'll just hit that rock for a strike of 4, and then because of our hit it harder, we get +1. So we destroy that crystal. With our last AP, we're just going to glide to there. We get pushed down 1 and we fall to the bottom. 1, 2. And that's it. This comes over here. Any climber may block 1. Oh, the active and the next player. So that means both of them will suffer this at the end of the turn. So we need to try and move him if we're in any danger. But we've got to smash this 1 crystal for 4 damage. So we're not really in trouble at this point in time. But as the game progresses, things might get more challenging. Any climber may block 1, strike 3 with crystal protection instead. Alright, so let's use a 4. So we're going to glide 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. We will then play this strike 3 with blight protection by flipping our gadget token, and then I get to explain something cool, which is this focus token. So anytime you use a skill, if you have your focus token focused, you can flip it and you can add +1 to any skill. So that's a strike 4. We smash that crystal and we've freed Sage the Leviathan. Woo! Hey, look, it was a introductory mission, and I'm sure people who've been watching this channel for a while would know that I do tend to go okay at games, so it's unsurprising that we have absolutely smoked the first introductory mission on casual difficulty. That's okay. Let's read the story when you win, the conclusion. Exploring is a lot easier when you're not tiptoeing around an angry Leviathan. Once we finished, the big turtle stopped trying to kill us and mostly wandered around. Some of the crew took the opportunity to study it closer. Not sure what they learned. I busied myself scoping out the local areas and sketching a few new maps. That was actually Savvy that did that, so well done, Savvy. That's it. That's Leviathan Wilds. Not a challenging, complex game to try and learn all of the various rules and interactions, but sometimes you don't need copious rules, copious interactions to create a really engaging decision space. And that's one of the things I think is this game's greatest strength. It's easy to pick up, it's fun, you get to do some cool stuff, and smashing those crystals and defeating the Leviathan feels pretty fun. So let's have a look at the next Leviathan that we will be facing next mission, and it is a tall tree man So we're going to have to figure out our angles a little bit differently, but he's going to be like that, Tree Man. Cool. Well, I look forward to catching you in the next episode where we'll probably play some more Leviathan Wilds. Big Deno out.